guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Susan and I am a first-time mom, content creator, and author. I make content to help busy moms stay organized and confident. Today's video is all about the advice I wish I had had before becoming a mom. Motherhood is one of those journeys that is transformative and beautiful and chaotic and sometimes very messy. And these are just a few tips, tricks, / advice that I wish I would have had going into it that I want to share with you. Okay, the first thing about motherhood is that it is an emotional journey. Roller coaster might be a better use of the word. However, I think that motherhood starts the second you find out about it. So for me personally, pregnancy was really hard. I struggled with prenatal depression, which we didn't realize until after, once I had my daughter, but I felt so guilty for the feelings I was feeling or the lack thereof. When I was pregnant, I felt no emotional connection to my baby. I felt almost resentful that I was in so much pain and so uncomfortable, and I didn't understand why this was supposed to be the happiest time of my life, and it really wasn't. I struggled and I felt so guilty, and I refused to verbalize these feelings because I thought that it would make that in the eyes of others, that would make me a bad mom. And I really wish that I would have spoken up, whether it was to a nurse, my doctor, my husband, a friend. Like, I wish I would have verbalized how disconnected I was feeling from the whole situation, but I didn't, because like I said, I was just so fearful that that would make me a bad mom. And I cannot stress this enough. Your feelings do not make you a bad person or a bad mom. And I want you to fully embrace and be able to identify and just listen to yourself. Like, you're feeling a certain way for a reason, and it's okay. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to be a little angry that you're up in the middle of the night for the 5th time and you're exhausted. It's okay to feel sad and have the baby blues. Like, every single emotion that is associated or comes with or as a byproduct of motherhood is okay. And I just want you to know that you are absolutely not alone in how you're feeling. I guarantee you every other mom has felt that way at one point or the other, and it's okay to feel it, and it's also okay to talk about it. I personally will never judge another mom. Like, you are doing the hardest job in the world, so your feelings are always valid, and it's okay to feel them and listen to them. Number 2 is definitely stemming off of number 1, and it's the importance of self-care. As a mom, you want to be superwoman. You want to do everything around the house, everything in your relationships, everything with the baby. And oftentimes, at least it was for me, that myself was the first thing to get neglected and put on the back burner. Except that will lead to burnout, and you still deserve to take care of yourself, especially when now you are doing so much more than you probably were pre-baby or pre-motherhood. So I just want to emphasize how important self-care is. It doesn't have to be wild. You do not need to book yourself a very expensive spa day. However, I do fully support that if that is how you rejuvenate and recoup. But just finding pockets of time throughout your day to prioritize yourself and self-care. That has been huge and life-changing for me, honestly, because that is where I was burning out, and that's where I was snapping at my husband, because I was just like not taking care of myself, and I was taking it out on him, and that wasn't right, and that wasn't fair for my marriage or my family. So just prioritize self-care. My favorite forms of self-care that I have been practicing are morning workouts. I absolutely love starting my day that way. Obviously, it is hard because now my day starts at 3:45 most mornings in order to feed the baby, pump, work out, then get back to the morning routine before I clock in for work and get my workday started. However, just moving my body has been transformative in my mental health, as it was pre-pregnancy and pre-motherhood, but that has just been amazing, and we love a runner's high. So for me, just movement, activity, exercise in any form has been really great form of self-care. I also love a good coffee. Like, I used to, before having the baby, I would never ask for a coffee from family or friends, but now it's like, if I need a coffee, I'm gonna text my homies and be like, hey, can you please pick me up a Starbucks? Takeout, not having to cook, instant form of self-care. That is amazing. We love a movie and snuggles, or like a TV show and snuggles, like unapologetic. I'm not checking my phone. I'm not going to clean. I'm going to literally just sit down and snuggle the baby and maybe watch a show. Like, that is self-care. Reading has been really nice. Going for a car ride, especially postpartum, I feel like you can quickly just become stuck in the house, and getting out and just literally going for a ride around town. It's been really nice out. Windows down, music, chef's kiss. That feels like a complete reset for me. TJ Maxx trip, I don't, you know, if you know, you know, like those doors open and the smell hits you and the cool air and the music and the ambiance, and then you can like touch all the things and look at the journals and smell the candles. It's a whole retreat in itself. Just a quick trip to TJ Maxx. Aperitivo with Sky, which that one's very specific, but my best friend Sky lives in Italy, so we do aperitivo in the afternoon, which is nighttime for her, evening, afternoon for me. A quick little cocktail or mocktail and FaceTiming and catching up with a friend. Hands down my favorite form of self-care. I think that was the first thing that I was like, okay, no, this is really great for me and I need to continue on with this because I love our time together, but also forms and acts of self-care for myself to be a better mom and wife and friend and sister and daughter and all the hats that I wear. Dinner dates. I've had, my friend Vivi has come over at least once a week for dinner. Honestly, since I went back to work, and it has been so nice. It's such a break in the week, and I really realized that during maternity leave, it didn't matter what day of the week it was. And that was something that I have not felt since I was a small child, because Sunday it's like, oh, Monday's tomorrow, and then Monday it's like, oh, it's only Monday. I want to live a lifestyle where it doesn't matter what day of the week it is, that I'm not chained to unsatisfied or stressful feelings 5 days of the week, 40 hours of the week, whatever that is. So having dinner dates has really helped with the whole not worrying about what day of the week it is, or making it excited that, oh, it's Tuesday, but I have dinner date with Vivi. So that's been great. The third piece of advice is learning how to manage your expectations. I went into motherhood thinking, I'll have it all figured out. I can do it all by myself. It wasn't until she was 5 or 6 weeks old when I was like, oh, like help would actually be really nice. Maybe I can't do this all on my own. I'm very fortunate that we have a very supportive village of family and friends that we're able to lean on and call on. And I'm learning how to accept help. And I'm also learning how to ask for help, which is really, really hard for some people, myself included. But if you just manage your expectations of, I'm going to ask for help, I'm going to receive help, it's gonna be okay. And it doesn't make you any less of a mom for asking and receiving help. Sometimes there's just literally it's not humanly possible to do it all, and that is a-okay. But just understanding and having it okay in your head is half the battle. People love to help. They wanna help with the baby, they wanna help around your house, they wanna help cook you meals. Like anything that you actually need help with, if you are willing to communicate, verbalize, and ask it, 9 times out of 10, people are happily going to. And it's sometimes just a matter of having that conversation. I know, like within the first week of Julia being home, there was times where people would come over and they just wanted to hold the baby, and it would like physically hurt me at times. And as she was getting older, I was realizing that it was making me anxious and upset, and then I didn't want people to come over. But guess what? You're allowed to say, it's been an hour or whatever and you haven't held your baby. It's okay to say, I'll take her back now, but please and thank you. Like, you're not in the wrong to have boundaries and expectations, and you can have a balance of all of it. And I think just going into it, I wish I would have prepared myself more for asking and receiving help. So I don't know if that's expectations. Expecting to receive and ask for help is probably the biggest takeaway from this whole video, which is a perfect segue into number 4, which asking for help is strength. You are not weak for asking for or accepting help. Help is needed. It takes the saying, it takes a village, that no one pulled that out of thin air. Like, that is hard, concrete fact, because it does. It takes a village. And I think that we now, in the society that we live in, especially in the States, I don't know how it is in other parts of the world, but we are expected as moms to be perfect moms and perfect spouses or significant others, or if you're doing it by yourself, like all props to you. And also be working moms, or if you're a stay-at-home mom, like, they're just, no matter what you are doing, it is a lot. Like, mothering in itself is a full-time job, 24/7, 365. You don't get a day off. Like, it's a lot. And then if you add on any other things, whether it's having other kids or being in a relationship of any kind, your friendships, your family, your job, all of those things have a compound effect. And it's like, the best way to describe motherhood, along with everything else you have going on in your already full life, is on like Thanksgiving. You mound that plate with everything, and it's like a foot high, and you're like, I'm gonna feast, and it looks delicious. And then you get halfway through and you're like, I can't do it. I can't physically eat another ounce. And that's kind of how like life feels after you become a mom. Like, there's just so much you want to do or so much that needs to be done, and sometimes it feels like you absolutely cannot take any more bites off of your plate, and that's okay. So asking for help to kind of clean up the messes and what's left on your plate is okay. And you're gonna feel so much better after you ask for help. A perfect example is I never, ever, ever wanted anyone to clean my home. Now, Thursday mornings, my mother-in-law comes over and watches our daughter. And while she sleeps, a lot of times she cleans. And this is, I don't leave her like a to-do list or anything like that. She just cleans at her free will. Thursday mornings are my favorite. They're my favorite because I'm like, I know that there's going to be help here. Whether it's just for the baby and she just takes care of the baby, that's awesome. Or if she's going to vacuum or maybe do some dishes or fold laundry, like just having any little extra thing done lessens the load on my plate. Even if it's one day a week, that it's the sigh of relief, and it is just so helpful, and I am endlessly thankful and so appreciative of that. So to wrap up, tip number 4 is asking for help is strength. And last but not least, tip number 5 is it's okay to evolve. You're a whole different person when you're a mom. Like, for me, I gave birth to my daughter, and it was the second she came out, it was like a light flipped, and I felt like a completely different person. I think a lot of it was the oxytocin and the drop in hormones, but I can't imagine, like, I think that is also just motherhood. I think that, yes, there is a physical component, but also if you're an adoptive mom, a foster mom, any way that you have entered motherhood changes you completely. Every fiber of your being is changed, and it is a beautiful but also kind of scary time because everything's changed. And I know for me, like, going back to work was really hard. I felt like a completely different person, but everything at work felt the same. And it was like, how am I supposed to stuff myself back into this cubicle? I don't feel like I fit here. Before I left, my main priority was work, and now I'm back and my main priority is my family. And it just felt like, it felt wrong. And it's hard because you're going to be in all the same places you were before, and your environment looks the same, and you might even look the same or very similar to how you did before you were pregnant, but you feel very different in all of these different places you've been your whole life. And that is a perplexing and hard pill to swallow, if you will. But it's okay to change, it's okay to evolve, and it's okay to grow, because that's what you're doing. You're changing and growing as a person, as a mom, and that is beautiful in itself. But change is scary and it's hard, and no one likes transitions. So I just want you to know that it's okay. The change is okay. Welcome it, embrace it as much as you can, but also if it scares you and it makes you feel uncomfortable, that's okay too. So guys, that's just a few things that I wish I would have known or kind of thought about before I entered motherhood. Obviously, motherhood is wild. It's different for everyone. It's not one size fit all, but I think that we can all connect on different varying aspects of it. And I just am so thankful for this community. I've met so many moms virtually and in person, and reconnected with people that I haven't seen since high school through motherhood. So I just think that it's like a secret club. It's the most beautiful network of women just growing as humans and raising their babies right. So I'm so thankful to be here. I'm so thankful that you are here. If you like mom content, please stick around. I do vlogs. I have 3 videos come out a week. We talk about all things from product recommendations to tips, advice, hacks, organization, and everything in between. So I am so thankful that you are here with me today, and I will see you in the next video. Please remember to like and subscribe, leave a comment, and that's it. Bye guys.